Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of working on the 3-point here on the 4840. So, I need to get that castle nut taken off right there. And when I went to try and turn it, it actually wanted to take and turn that whole entire thing. And it's kind of hard to try and film underneath here with my camera on my head like a GoPro and be underneath a 3-point without constantly smacking my phone on something. Okay, I just tapped that pin back in. That way it would hold itself. And I can get that castle nut taken off there. I didn't really damage the castle nut a whole lot. However, I can feel when I go to screw it back onto that bolt. I don't know if it kind of bunged up the threads just a little bit. But I got I have a big tap and die set, so I'll take and ream that nut all out and it'll be good to go. I just called the John Deere place up north here, and they told me that they do have the seal kit for this thing on hand. And surprisingly, it only takes just 2 seals. You have your outer seal and then your main packing seal. There we go. Okay, just looking right there, that does have a bushing inside that housing. Makes sense. Okay, well that's kind of strange. I'm sitting here working. We got some light rain hitting the shed roof. I just heard a drop of water right beside me. And looking straight up above there, there's a spot where I can see a water drop forming right around the seam where the ridge cap goes down the center. Huh, that's kind of weird. Come to think of it, I have seen that in years past. But it don't happen very often. That's kind of one of those things you never think about fixing until it starts dripping. But, yeah, right there is where that little spot right there, that's where it's dripping at. So anyway, back to what I was doing. Now, let's see here if we can get this thing off without smashing a finger. Okay, there's the pin. Yeah, it's kind of like a taper fit. You just put it right through and it pinches down, holds in. Well, hey, can't beat that deal. Okay, there's just a little bit of play right there, but not too bad. Well, hey, that was pretty simple. There's the ram. Let's see here. Now I got oil over my hands. Hard to grab my light and show you. Let's step over here to these pole lights. Okay, right down in there's the seals. I can see what looks like a crack in the one, because it was always leaking here on the bottom side. Got just a little bit of oil coming out, but not too bad. So I'm going to take and go ahead and just dump this into this bucket. There we go. That just gets rid of that. Problem solved. Then what I'll do before I put anything back on is I'll just take probably a can of ether and a couple good blue shop towels, just wipe that ram all down good and clean before I put it back together. Okay, I'm over here on the vise, and you can see right there, let me get the light. There's what's left of the old wiper. I've been kind of picking at just a little bit. And inside there, yeah, right. I'm going to clean this barrel all out anyway, so I'm not exactly too worried about getting dirt in it. But right there is the main seal. And if we take and spin that around, I'm not too sure how well you can see that on camera. Wipe my little pick here off. It's got a bunch of crud on it. But like I say, I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but right there is a hole, a gap going through, almost 3/4 the way through. It comes up and hits. Right there's another chunk. And I'm going to guess that's probably where the oil is pouring out at. And so I got my little chisel. First thing I want to do is keep picking that wiper ring down. There we go. I don't know if I have enough pigtail to get a hold of that or not. Generally, those wipers are made out of pretty thin stuff, so they can... I know when I rebuilt the backhoe cylinders there on the loader, the wiper on that actually popped out pretty easy. Well, maybe not. Okay, I've been sitting here poking around on this thing, but there we go. Yeah, that's the little wiper, and of course it's all dry rot and shot. Put that right there. And right there is the your main packing seal. If it'll come out. Sometimes these things can be a real pain to get kicked out of that channel. Well, it looks like it's going to be coming out in pieces. No wonder why it was leaking. It's all dry rotted. Okay, and right there's the rest of the seal. Get it picked out of that little channel. You're good to go. And like I see, with all that junk falling down the side there, I'll take and clean them all up good. In fact, I'll probably take and put into a pan of good old gas, just like I do with a wheel bearing, and wash the whole entire thing all out, outside, inside, everything. But that's got that old ring picked out of there, and as you can see, coming out in chunks, that's why it was leaking. It just finally got dry rot and cracked, went to pieces. That's what allowed the oil to go right through it. Alrighty, I just put the barrel into this pan. Gonna take a little bit of Petro and take and give it a good clean up. That'll make it look like a new one. Grab my little bristle brush. One thing I want to take and double check and make sure that my phone is in my head carrier good and tight. Wouldn't be too good if it fell out and went into the gas bowl. There we go. Now I'll give them a good wash down. Get all the crud off of it. Because this thing's out with that leaking like that, it makes for a great dirt collector. And dust and all kinds of other junk. And that bushing, not bad at all, in good shape. Yeah, just sit there, that right there on that rock, not going to go too far. I want to see if I can tip a little bit of gas into that barrel. Well, I thought. You're going to have to get a little bit more of an angle. Well, it came out the hose port right there. And there we go. A bunch of black stuff came out with it. But that gets all that old remnant of that gasket. There we go. That gets the ring where the wiper sits on. Gets all that cleaned out like that. Take it over here and kind of get some light looking down there. Not too sure how well you can see on camera, but not too bad for the most part. Gonna hit that again. And do the same thing. Give it a little bit, give it a good shake. There we go. Alrighty, I think that should have it. We're looking good on top. Look good inside. I think we should be good to go. So, gonna lay that right there. I'm gonna call that an end here to part 2. So, come back for part 3 and I'll show you getting those seals and that kind of stuff back in. Getting that thing mounted back on the tractor. Take care, thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.